Today's tip is about when is it time to place your loved one. And I have my friend Bernadette Homan here from Arden Courts to give you a few tips about that.
Today I'm going to talk to you about when is it time for placement in assisted living. I work in an Alzheimer's assisted living, so most of my conversation is geared more towards Alzheimer's assisted living placement, but it can apply to anyone looking at assisted living. None of us want to go anywhere. We want to stay in our own home. However, there are times when home is no longer appropriate. Some of the things I tell family caregivers to look for is think about when is the time that you feel like you physically and emotionally can no longer be a caregiver. When does that look like? What would it look like? How are you feeling? That might be a time when you need to start looking for placement. If a person lives home alone and they are diagnosed with dementia and they're no longer able to cook for themselves, not able to go to the doctor's appointments, not able to take care of their medication management, they may need to go to assisted living if there's nobody that can be home with them. It's not safe. If you're a family caregiver, some of the things I ask you to look for is how is your stress level? There are some home tests that you can take to determine if you yourself are burning out. There is a depression scale that you can take that will show if you're depressed. Depression sometimes mimics dementia, so if you do a home test on, or have your doctor do a test on your depression, once you clear that depression, then you might be able to see that you do not have dementia, or that if you're so depressed that it's impairing you to take care of your loved one, it might be a time for maybe placement for a respite stay or maybe adult daycare to give you a break from caregiving. The other one is the caregiver burden, where it actually tests where your caregiver stress level is at. And if you score a certain number on that, that's showing that you are becoming more and more burdened with the caregiving role, and it could impair your own personal care. So if you happen to go into the hospital, what happens to the person that you're taking care of? What is your plan? If you get hospitalized and you're taking care of somebody that needs your assistance, what is your backup plan? If you don't have family that can step in and take care of you or that loved one, what do you do with them? Have a plan in place. We have insurance for our homes, we have insurance for our cars, but we don't always use it. So have a plan for looking at placement. Think about when is the time that you might need it. Think about it if there was a crisis, when could you look at these places. We're now going into hurricane season. That's another thing to think of. If you are thinking of going into a shelter and you have somebody with dementia, is that really going to be a good environment for somebody with dementia to be in a shelter? Or maybe you can look at an assisted living that will take you and your loved one and you can be there together. Or if you want to go away to family's home, you can move your loved one into an assisted living as a respite stay. It doesn't have to be permanent. Sometimes assisted livings can do short-term placement depending on how many days. It's going to vary from facility to facility. But the goal is to keep you and your loved ones safe and making sure that you have a plan. So in relation to the testing that I was talking to you about, Tam Cummings has a website and we utilize some of her tools. One of them here is the Caregiver Burden Scale. You can get it right on her website. And then the other one is a geriatric depression scale that can also be found either on her website, or you can actually contact Arden Courts, and one of our memory care advisors or myself would be happy to meet with you and take those tests. You can even ask your doctor. You have a primary care physician, let them know that how you're feeling, that you're caring for somebody, and that you would like those tests taken care of. If you need resource help, there's the Area Agency on Aging. There's your local memory disorder clinics, St. Anthony's at Madonna P-Tech Memory Disorder Clinic. There are so many different resources out there that families don't know how to tap into, and at Arden Courts, whether you come to us or not, we are a resource and can help guide you and put you in touch with the right resources, in addition to Linda Burhands.
Thanks, Bernadette. You're always spot on, and Arden Courts has so much information and help with matters like this. Tune in the next week for another tip sponsored by Arden Courts, where all they do is memory care, and have a delicious day.